brave. The life of the earth, all creatures have worth. They call for us all to be brave. They call for us all to be brave. Oh love, may we know you better. May we gain the wisdom to be more patient and giving. We all can be living in peace and in harmony. In peace and in harmony.
Brian L. Yeah. Is that you? Is that why you signed this card? Brian L.?
Yeah, probably.
Come on. I'm like, Brian L. Who could it be? Is this your quotes? You drew a little heart for me?
Yeah,
Is that, yeah. Come on up here. Good to see you. Yeah. Crystal.
Crystals hidden. We put out our dreams to the world, and we make it happen. The lyrics in sync with our lives, only bringing higher vibes. Let me love you, and let you love me.
Amen. Thank you. Good. Here's a statement I think all of us will agree on. Everything doesn't always work out according to plan. Have you noticed that? Why are we so surprised then? That's my question. Why are we so taken off, oh, it didn't work out the way I planned it. We seem all surprised about it. Or we get mad about it, or we get upset about it. It's like, why is that? If we know that things don't always work out the way it's planned, why do we do that? And sometimes, too, we blame ourselves for it, for not working out. Well, I didn't do this, or I didn't do that, or I'm just so stupid. Then we blame ourselves for things not working out according to plan. Well, we just all agreed. I mean, there's something in the world that we can agree on, and that's it. I don't care what persuasion you are, I think you can agree to that. But what if we stopped being surprised by it and started being curious by it? Like, to stop expecting everything to work out the way we think it is. That's the thing, is that we have these expectations that it work out this way. If I dot all my I's and cross all my T's and do this work and make this effort, that my life will be good and it'll be easy and everything will work out. And it doesn't happen, does it? It doesn't happen that way. Because we are, in my way of thinking, we are one soul. In the midst of all these billions of souls in the world, and we aren't independent of each other, and so we're influenced by the whole. I mean, think about it. Sometimes things do work out, right? Sometimes things work out splendidly, and if you think about it, the thing that worked out splendidly was not exclusively due to you. Right? It wasn't exclusively due to you. There were a whole plethora of things that happened to allow this thing to work out for you. Right? Am I right? That's the way it works. That's the way it works. And that's the same way it works when things don't work out. You see? It's the same effort going on here. Things don't work out and things work out, but not just because of me, but because I live as a soul and a vibration in the universe, in humanity, on this planet, whirling around the sun. I mean, there's a lot more going on than what's my plan. You make a plan, the plan that supersedes all plans, and it's supposed to work out. You see how crazy that sounds? I know. But the truth is this. Here's another truth I think we'll agree on. Your plan will either work out or it won't. I mean, it'll either work out or it won't. I'm pretty sure about that, because a plan is just an idea. It's just one possibility. It's just one possibility in my imagination. Me. In the midst of all of this. One idea. That's it. And I say that every plan that I have for my life has a limitation. It has a limitation because of all the other things that are going on at the same time as I'm planning for me. It's limited because there is in my spiritual belief, there is a oneness, there is a nature of creation that is happening that I have no idea about. None. I don't know. I'll admit that. I don't know if you agree with that one. But I believe that there's this whole evolution of consciousness and humanity and creativity and universal stuff going on that I'm not aware of. And so my little plan is just one idea that I have about it. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, though, when we have a plan that doesn't work out, we feel disappointed. We feel angry. We feel hurt. And that is a natural human reaction. I mean, we have feelings. And it's not about, well, I shouldn't feel that way. I know my plans always don't work out, but I'm not going to. Well, yes, I'm going to feel that way. I feel disappointed when my plan doesn't work out. I can feel hurt. I can feel angry. I can feel really upset about things. And that's okay. But as Megan reminded us, we have a choice then about that. And there's this great and mysterious question that I have for you. Don't take your pens out, it's just 2 words. There's this great and mysterious question that we can ask that I think really helps us when a plan doesn't work out. I did write it down for you so you can see it. But it's the mysterious question that is, da 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 da. Now what? Now what? I mean, that's the question, I think. That this is how, when we recover from our disappointment, when we recover from our sadness or madness or frustration, this is the question. This is a freedom question. Because what releases us from is the attachment to all the crap that didn't go our way. And we can leave it behind because we can be forward looking and we can simply say, well, now what? Now what? That's the question. That's the big question I have for you today. Like, this is what's right here, and now what? Now what? It's a freedom question. It is the question that invites curiosity rather than judgment. Everything I did wrong, and how bad I am, and what's wrong with me, and why it didn't work out, and how could this have happened to me, and all. Now what says, oh, I'm over here. It's freedom. It's freedom from that stuff. It's freedom from that. It's a choice we can make about where we are. That's the question. You know, every new discovery rests on plans that didn't work out. Every new discovery rests on plans that didn't work out. You know that. You know that. Everything, in fact, a lot of how we learn is exactly that. A lot of how I learned is about all the things that didn't work out till I finally got to the thing that did. That's how it works. Renee and I, in our lives together, we've renovated houses and we've swung hammers and did drywall and did a little bit of electrical, did some plumbing, did all these things. It did not always work out. It didn't work out. But we learned a whole heck of a lot. Mostly we learned that we had to go at least 3 trips to Lowe's to do any plumbing job. At least 3. We just started a plumbing job. We're like, okay, here's number 1. And we knew we'd be back. And we were. We learned. That's how we learn. We learn by not getting it right the first time. That's how we learn. That's how little kids learn, and we still do that in adulthood. What if we just approach life that way? That this happened, and now what? You see how that, now what? I think it's a brilliant question, I'm just going to say. I bet you have a list of things in your life that didn't work out, don't you? This long. All the things that didn't work out. And I bet you would tell a story, each of you would, if I gave you 5 minutes up here, you would come up and tell a story of how it was important in your life that didn't work out and that something else happened and this is how you grew. Am I right? Yeah. Most of the times. Or maybe you're still holding on to stuff and you haven't got to the now what stage. Here's another question you can ask if you're still there. If you haven't gotten here yet, the question maybe even before that is, so what? So what? It happened, so what? It's my favorite quote from Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol says this. Where's that quote? I'm going out of order here, but that's okay. He says, sometimes people let the same problem make them miserable for years when they could just say, so what? That's one of my favorite things to say. So what? I mean, so not that it doesn't matter, not that it's this awful thing that happened. I mean, cancer is not a so what thing. But still, it's, now what? It's like, so what? It happened. It happened. When I was 36 years old, I was diagnosed with cancer. I had just graduated with my master's degree. I had a whole plan about what I was going to do. I was changing my career. I was going to do this. 2 weeks later, cancer. Well, you can say, well, how can you say so what? Well, I can say so what because I want this. Now what? Now what? It wasn't easy, but now what? You are dealing, some of you, with some tough things. But the question is not, how, poor me. The question is, now what? Now what? We have all those things. And this question, like I said, this is really about freedom. It puts me in freedom. It allows me to feel freedom and not be attached to this and not be attached to this. Really, this strategy that I'm talking about is our willingness to say yes to what is showing up in our life. I know. I'm not even using the word acceptance because people don't like that word. I don't want to accept it. How about saying yes to what shows up in your life? That's what this is. Now what? Open eyes, awake. Now what? That's it. But some people, meaning me and you, us, we like to resist it instead, don't we? We like to resist what is. There's a lot of that going on in our country right now. We need to resist. We need to resist. I say no. No. Resistance hasn't worked, by the way. It's just this. You know, I'm showing, it's resistance is not what it is. How about instead of resistance, how about if I become? Please don't close that door. We'll deal with it. Please don't close that door.
Okay.
Please just leave it out. We'll deal with the kids. Thank you. I'm not going to roast you all in here like last week. So instead of resist, how about if I become? How about if now what is about me becoming something that I couldn't have become unless I had this? How about that? How about instead of pushing against, how about leaning forward? How about leaning forward instead of pushing back? Because I don't think there's one thing that has happened to move us forward by resistance. You may have called it resistance, but it may have been the leaning forward thing. Think about that. Because resistance doesn't work. The next president will write a bunch of executive orders too. And then the next one will write a bunch of executive orders. And then the next one. But change comes when I persist in becoming who and what I want to be. That's how things change. Susan was talking about how that changes into peace. It doesn't happen with resistance. We say every time here at Spiritual Soul Center, we are here to create a movement grounded in love and kindness. Resistance has no place to be in the world of love and kindness. It doesn't have a place to be. It doesn't exist there. It doesn't. Here's a quote from John O'Donohue. In the kingdom of love, there is no competition. Resistance is competition. Resistance is I'm for and you're against, and we have this resistance. There is no competition in the kingdom of love. There is no possessiveness or control. The more love you give, the more love you will have. The more peace you give, the more peace you will have. The more I become what I'm here to become, the greater level of the whole will be lifted up. That's how it works. Now what? Not resistance, now what? The whole fighting thing hasn't worked. Has it? The whole fighting thing hasn't worked. This whole tug of war thing, it hasn't worked. Does it work in your personal life? The fight against? What has it gotten you? What has it gotten you fighting against anything? It doesn't get us to where we want to be. Now what is looking forward? Yes, this is happening in my life. Yes, this is happening in my community. Yes, this is happening in my world. Now what? What am I to do? What am I here to become? What is this calling me to be? That's what now what is about. What is this calling me to become? It's not to sit and not engage. It's what is this calling me to become? Don't you want to know that? Don't you want to know your part in the whole? I don't think we find it by resisting. I just don't think we do. And you know what else? It's a dang mystery why stuff happens. It's a mystery. Why do some plans work out and some plans don't? I don't know. I don't know why that is. It's a mystery. And here I'm going to ask you, and I ask myself to trust a mystery. I'm asking us to trust a mystery here. I'm asking us to believe that resistance is not what it's about, that it's only looking forward and asking this kind of question when a plan doesn't work out. Whether it's in my personal life, in the community, in the United States, or in the world. It doesn't matter. Now what? It's a mystery. Why do some people seem not to catch a break? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There's a mystery about it. There's a mystery about it. So I think I would ask us to be curious. To be curious about it. To be looking forward, to lean forward rather than resist. Think about that in politics in the United States right now. I'm going to bring it up again. Let's lean toward something. Let's lean toward and become something that we are being pulled toward instead of this. And let me say that I believe that each one of us, just by our being here now, has a role to play in that. In your life, with whatever's going on, you have a role to play in that. It's critical. You have a critical role to play in that. It's critical that you're here and to become whatever it is. To remember this question. To maybe say this, if you got to, but this question here. Now what? That's the thing. I think my belief is, and my trust is, in this vibration of the universe. It's the metaphor that I'm going to share about Google Maps. It's like when you take a wrong turn on Google Maps, when things don't work out, what happens? Recalculate, turn left, you got it. It just recalculates. I'm asking you, that's what we can do. We can do that. We can choose that. We just say, now what? That Google person on your speaker doesn't say, stop now, you can't go any further. That's not what happens. It says, now what? Oh, now we're going to have to make a U-turn. Now we're going to have to go around the block. Now you've added 20 minutes to your trip. You know what? So what? So what? Now what? That's my big message today. I really don't have anything else. This is what was on my mind. This is what is part of what's keeping me sane, is to realize that I have this choice that I need to quit being surprised by all the plans that don't work out in my life and in the world. To realize that there's something way bigger going on, and that the best thing I can do is play my part and play it the best that I can. And that's by looking forward and leaning in and not resisting. So let's just take that into a short time of meditation this morning. And take a deep breath in. And revisit, maybe, if you will, just this idea in your life. This idea of having a plan and it not working out, and realizing it's the truth that everybody agrees on. And if that's the truth, maybe this question, this simple question, now what? Now what? What is that now? So breathe in and breathe out for just a few minutes as we sit together. Breathing in, breathing out. In the kingdom of love, there is no competition. There is no possessiveness or control. The more love you give away, the more love you will have. So my question for myself as I move through these days is simply, now what? Now what? Is it calling me to be? Is calling me to do? What is the calling? For this, with great humility and gratitude. Amen.
To be one of those ships for the day in a sea that is blue as the sky is today. In a sea that is blue as the sky is today.
filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all be well. May all be peaceful and at ease. May all be happy.
See you next week.